We are live. Welcome to Super Bowl 55. This is the main event. Let's not be sad that the NFL season is over because we have a matchup of a lifetime. What could be better than a Super Bowl that everyone's going to talk about for the next 10, 20, 30 years? It is the legend, the greatest quarterback of all time, and I'm so happy that we can finally say that. Tom Brady going after his 7th Super Bowl ring. Myself, Kenny bets big. We both think that Brady's going to take it home, but don't count out Mr. Patrick Mahomes. Don't call him the baby goat because his girlfriend might get really upset. You saw that right on social media. Very upset that Patrick Mahomes is not getting the credit he deserves on Super Bowl Sunday, going for his 2nd straight ring, his 3rd time. I mean, what, 3rd year starting 2 Super Bowls? He's in good hands. Hello and welcome. This is the Game Day pregame show. This is our Super Bowl show. I know I'm talking. I'm just super excited. Kenny Bets Big is here. Kenny's got some big money. He's always said the Bucks. He tells me before. Always said it's the Bucks in the Super Bowl. Kenny, what's up? How you
What's
doing?
going on? How you doing? I know I'm very excited about this game. Finally, I've had these future bets on the Bucks. Finally, the day has come. Finally, see if I'm going to make some money or if I just wasted a little bit of money on it. But I'm pretty excited.
Kenny's like our mattress Mac of the game program. He puts
Not
big
yet.
money on it. He puts big money everywhere. We also have a contest winner that's going to roll with you with $5,000 of the game day's money.
Yes.
We're going to roll with you through the Super Bowl, place down some regular bets, some prop bets, some exotic bets. Before we get started, I just want to start talking about those exotic bets because I think that they're so much fun. Who doesn't want to bet the over or the under on the national anthem? Who doesn't want to bet the over under on not the over under, the coin toss, heads or tails? It's funny. I saw someone talk about that they were at a Super Bowl party last year and a massive fight broke out between a couple because the guy put $500 on the coin toss. Is the coin toss, because both of them are at minus 105 currently right now, is the coin toss worth it? I know a lot of people love to bet it, but is that like a worthy exotic bet, or would you rather push your money somewhere else?
I mean, based on odds, right? It's probably one of the best bets. So
Okay.
yeah, right. I mean, if you're into gambling and you want your best odds, it's 50-50. It can only go one of two ways. So yeah, it's not a bad bet. I mean, I don't make those bets myself because I like to think that, handicapping the game, I give myself a better odds than a 50-50 chance. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't bet things like that. I am interested in the Gatorade prop. I'm a big believer that there's going to be no Gatorade poured on the coach. Everything with COVID. If you look at the AFC Championship game, there was just they dumped a Gatorade bucket filled with confetti on Andy Reid. So that's one thing. I think it's at like plus 200 right now that there's no liquid dumped on the coach.
All right. Well, I have those numbers. First of all, back to the coin toss real quick. 7 out of the last 9 Super Bowls have gone tails. So tails never fails. As for that Super Bowl liquid, so you bring up a great point because you had your eyes keen. Do you know what happened during the NFC Championship game? I'm not sure. They dumped a Gatorade?
I am not sure, to be honest.
Okay.
But I mean, I saw the confetti, so that's
okay. All right. So
enough for
TBD
me
on
to
that
see.
one. The numbers for the Gatorade. So orange is a huge favorite right now at plus 125. We got red that has never been used. Surprisingly, red's never been used, dumped on a coach. Granted that both teams have red in both of their uniforms. So a lot of people thinking that this is going to be the year of red. That's at plus 250. Yellow green is at 400. Clear is at 700. Blue is at plus 900. Purple is at plus 1,000.
No one likes purple, huh? Jeez.
No one likes the purple.
I love purple Gatorade.
I'm going to go out on a limb and listen. We'll go down some of the prop bets that I really like. I'm driving up. I live in Boston. It's snowing right now. I'm driving up to the great state of New Hampshire, where Governor Sununu has allowed a sports book to be played in the great state of New Hampshire. Live free or die. And I'm going to be placing my bets on the DraftKings and FanDuel sportsbooks. So, I mean, I'm just going to go out on a limb. Why not? Throw $5 on blue. If I throw $10, I mean, I win $90. If I throw $10 on blue, I win $90. Why not? I mean, I feel like today is just the day that everyone, I mean, it's the greatest gambling event of all time, the exotic prop bets and everything. So let's continue and keep going down our list. This one's interesting. The method of victory. So Chiefs in regulation is minus 155. The Bucks in regulation plus 145. Chiefs in overtime, Bucks in overtime, both at plus 1600, plus 2000. Is this like the easiest, most unsung prop to play in a money line parlay? If you like the Bucks, which both you and I do, to get plus money on the Bucks to win in regulation as well, to combine those two to plus 145, would you do it?
Well, wouldn't that just personally, I mean, the Bucks money line is probably at plus 140 as well.
Yeah, it's a plus 140.
Depending what sports book you bet it at. So I don't like that bet simply because in the off chance that it does go to overtime, that bet is now a loser. Whereas if you bet the Bucks money line, which is probably the same odds, if the game goes to overtime or the Bucks win in regulation, that bet is a winner.
Okay.
So there would just be better, from a betting standpoint, you get, you have more of a chance to hit the Bucks money line.
Yep. Okay. Interesting. Another fun one that I like, any field goal or extra point to hit the uprights or the crossbar. It's a yes is a plus 375 and no is at minus 590. 4-1 props that either Harrison Buck or Ryan Suckup do it. I mean, this is the year of the messed up kickers. Would you like that one?
I did. I mean, I wouldn't bet it, but I will say this. One of my friends lives down in Tampa. He sent me a picture this morning. It is very foggy. I don't know if there's going to be raining down there. So, maybe the elements come into play. One of these guys shanks a kick or something and you get lucky and it doinks off a crossbar. Maybe. I don't know.
I love it. I love it. I love it. This one, I don't know the odds, but I mean, for any broadcasting, where could you find something like this? The over-under on the amount of time that Bill Belichick or Robert Kraft are mentioned during the broadcast, I would hammer the over on that one.
Yeah, it's definitely. What is there a number?
No, I mean, I've been trying to find it and I can't.
Oh.
So, but there's gotta be some sort of a, I mean, Tony Romo is on the broadcast. How can they not have odds like that?
Yeah, no, I would definitely hammer the over on that if that bet is available anywhere, because they may talk about Bill Belichick more than Bruce Arians or Andy Reid in this game.
Yep. So. Yep. 100%. The last one that I want to talk about, exotic bets, which is just kind of funny. It's the chances that one of the players throws a football into the cannon porthole on the Bucks.
Is that a real bet?
Shit. Yeah, it's a real bet. Our guy, Anthony Servino, got to give props to him. He writes over at thegameday.com. He's got some great prop bets. I had him on my podcast earlier this week. Yeah, it's plus, I think. Yeah, it's at plus 255.
That someone throws a football through the
cannon
hole?
Throws a football in celebration into the porthole.
I feel like that's got to be pretty tough to do. No, like
I know. I think
I would go no on that if
Chris Sims did it. Chris Sims, the quarterback of the Bucks, did it in 2014. He also got fined $2,500 for doing it. But hey, it's the Super Bowl.
Jeez. Listen, I mean, if he could hit it, if he could do that, I'm sure anyone can, because he was
exactly
quarterback.
Exactly. All right, let's get to the main event. Here. Tom Brady against Patrick Mahomes. A lot of people. This line is pretty accurate. 56. Granted, I mean, you're talking about Florida rain, Florida weather. It might not be the best, the best elements down there in Tampa Bay, but I'm still thinking that the advantage here not only lies in the arms of Tom Brady, but when you're talking about inclement weather and you're talking about a sloppy field, you're talking about the advantage in the running game. And I think that it starts and ends. It doesn't start and ends. Excuse me. It really starts with the focus on that running game and Leonard Fournette having, they call him Playoff Lenny now, having himself a late breakout season, and a lot of people are rounding out with him going over. Oh, I think his totals at Fournette going over 50-yard rushing yards and a touchdown is at plus 170. What do you like on Leonard Fournette and that Bucks running game?
I mean, I honestly think he's going to we could see a big game from Fournette. The only thing is I just think a lot of people are on that Leonard Fournette bandwagon. So from, my sharp betting angle, that's something I would normally think the opposite would happen. The Bucks having Ronald Jones. Who knows? We could see a high dose of Ronald Jones in this game as well. One player that I really like to get a ton of action, and this is a little bit of a gamble because he hasn't really done much all season, but Gronkowski. How do you feel
Yeah.
about Gronk in this game?
You know what? And I think that you brought this up, and it's a great point. Cameron Brate is a game time decision. He's questionable. So I think that your logic to say that Rob Gronkowski having a huge game is pretty reasonable. Gronk has been kind of a hit or miss over the course of the season. He's not been his typical physical self, just given the fact that we have not had training camp in the off season. You hadn't had a real season for him to come back and really build that body. They call him skinny Gronk, at least,
Yeah.
at least Tom Brady has for the majority of the season. But Rob Gronkowski has the greatest, he has the best continuity with Tom Brady. Communication on the field. They know each other. They know each other's routes. And I think in situations like this, when you're going up against a Super Bowl defense in the Kansas City Chiefs, that Tom Brady's going to look for his ace in the hole. And, whether or not, Mike Evans or Chris Godwin's going to be picking up balls, dropping balls. I mean, you still have that massive target in the middle of the field of Rob Gronkowski. I really like him at the goal line. And, I think I agree with you. I think that Gronk, just given the fact that Cameron Brate is, his injuries, then he could have a big game.
Yeah, no, and if you look back over the course of the season, the Chiefs have been torched by opposing tight ends. So, I think, like you mentioned, the continuity between Tom Brady and Gronkowski, I think we could see a high action, a high number of plays called for Gronk. I love Gronk to score anytime. I think it's at like plus 220 right now on FanDuel. Yeah, I'm also going Gronk for MVP right now. I put a couple hundred on him. He's at plus 8,500 on FanDuel. So there's never been a tight end that's won it, right? Why not the first guy and maybe one of the only guys to ever do it? Why not it be Gronk, the best to ever do it?
Listen, if I hit big, I'll put $50 on that. If I hit big, I owe you something, a bottle of wine, a nice bottle of Silver Oak or something.
Yeah, something, right? A little Camus.
I know, we can do better than that. Opus is better than Camus. Opus is better than Camus. All right, we're not talking about. I'm not Dwayne Wade here. Let's get back to the basics here. Talking about Tom Brady's other targets, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So Mike Evans is his numbers are pretty low, at least right now. I know anytime touchdown is at plus 110. But his receiving yards is in and around 60, and I don't have the number for some reason on my sheet right now. Would you hit the over on that? I think that has to factor in, it makes me wonder if I'm missing something. I'm really liking the over on Evans's receiving yards, and I'm almost questioning whether the over on Godwin at 77.5 is a little too high. Before I had Godwin over Evans, but I'm almost thinking that Evans is going to be the guy.
Yeah, as far as the scoring, Mike Evans anytime, I find that he's plus 110. I find it a little fishy. He scored in, I don't know the exact number, but it seems like he scores in almost every single game for the Bucks. So when you look at, for example, like Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill, their anytime touchdown scores are closer to minus 160. Clearly big favorites. You got to lay a little bit of juice to get those guys to score anytime. But I've seen a lot of people DMing me real heavy on that Mike Evans bandwagon for first time touchdown scorer, anytime touchdown scorer. And, this is the biggest betting game of the year. And it's also one of the games that the sports books just absolutely clean up on every year. So I'm going to stay away from any Mike Evans props just because I don't know. I would assume he would score, but those numbers indicate that Vegas thinks otherwise. So I would stay away from Mike Evans scoring props for sure.
Okay. On the other side of the ball, Travis Kelce, one of the most prolific tight ends that our game has ever seen. If he had played in week 17, we could probably see him having the most receiving yards of any receiver in the NFL. I don't think that that's ever happened, just at least for a tight end. He had over 1,300 yards. What do you like for Kelce's props and numbers for this game? Are you big on him, or are you thinking Tyreek Hill? I mean, his numbers are pretty high, over 92.5 receiving yards, 7.5 receptions. Which is your buyer beware?
I'm a huge Tyreek Hill fan. I think he's
Yeah.
one of the most, as great as he is, I think he's extremely underrated. But that being said, if you remember back to the first time these teams played, the Bucks were absolutely torched by Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
So
269 receiving yards. It was crazy.
yeah, so I don't think they want to let that happen again. So I would expect a lot of double coverage, maybe high single safety over the top to prevent those big plays. Because if you take Tyreek Hill out of the game, that's a huge weapon. It shrinks the field down, takes away that deep threat. So if you take Tyreek Hill away, obviously that's going to leave things open over the middle for Travis Kelce. So yeah, I think Travis Kelce probably will have a pretty big game here. But I would go. I think Travis Kelce. I think there's a better chance Kelce has a better game than Tyreek Hill.
Okay. The other kid that I'm real hot on. I love this kid. He's a Georgia dog. Mecole Hardman, second year. Almost blew it in that AFC Championship game, but he came back. He's a gamer. And if Tyreek Hill is not catching a ball, this kid is one step behind him. And his prop is at 28.5 receiving yards. I love the over in this one.
Yeah,
He had
I
a
would
big
agree.
game, and I also called that he would have a big game in the championship, in the
You
AFC
you
Championship.
you did. You also did call that. I don't know how to
Darrell
say.
Williams.
No, the guy in the Packers, Scantling.
Oh, yeah, Marquez Ventus. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Scantling. Yes,
You
yep,
did call him. He caught
yep,
like a 55-yard bomb. I was thinking, I
yep,
was like, she said that. But
yep,
yeah, no, a lot. It seems like a lot of people are big on Mecole Hardman for this game. And with all the focus on Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Clyde Edwards-Helaire out of the backfield, I think there's definitely a chance for him to hit a big play, maybe a gadget play of some sort. And
mhm.
would you say it was 28 yards? That's
28.5 receiving yards.
that seems like something he'll get on one play, right?
Yep,
So I would go
yeah.
over on that.
All right, Darrell Williams, I was also very hot on. I predicted that he would have a huge game, breakout game, because, granted, we're talking about possibly a sloppy field, inclement weather down there in Tampa. They're going to rely heavy on the run game. At least, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But, they're going to have their ace in the hole, and the Bucks certainly do. But you go to the other side of the ball, the Chiefs, LaShawn McCoy, he's been, is it LaShawn McCoy? Le'Veon Bell has struggled. LaShawn McCoy has struggled. Darrell Williams is a guy that was at least 3-4 deep in the depth chart. He's really turned up. He had a big game over in the AFC Championship game. He was heavily involved in the offense, 13 for 52. I know that seems like low, but 78 rushing yards against the Browns. His prop is at 34.5. What do you think? I'm going to go on the over on that one too.
34.5 rushing yards.
Yes.
I would lean under. I just think I think this Bucks defense is really gonna stifle the Chiefs running attack, and I wouldn't really want to bet on really any of these Chiefs running backs, because the only way I see the Chiefs' path to victory is Patrick Mahomes coming out and playing a lights out perfect performance. I think the Bucks defense is extremely underrated. I think they're
I
clicking at
agree.
all of their. I think they're clicking at the perfect time. This
Yep.
kind of has a lot of feel of the Giants when they beat the Patriots. If you remember that defense, everything clicking at the right time for them.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm a Patriots fan too. It's tough, but we won a few after, so it's all right. But yeah,
Oh,
I just think that the Bucks defense is not, even with the past two games where they have 3 picks on Breeze, 2 on Rodgers. I don't think they're getting the credit they deserve, and I think they're going to show up today. I think they remember that first game when Patrick Mahomes and Tyreek Hill just absolutely exploded in that first quarter.
yep.
And I think they're going to show up. So I think I wouldn't bet on any Chiefs running back props, in my opinion.
Okay, well, speaking of that guy, Patrick Mahomes, a huge, very popular prop bet right now. Patrick Mahomes' passing attempt numbers at 40.5. He had 51 against the Bucks last time. He's been throwing pass attempts. He's been throwing over 50. I also love this over. What about you?
Yeah, like I literally, I don't think the Chiefs, if they start, like, I don't think they're going to really have much of a, chance running the ball. And I think they're going to find that out, very nice and early. So I think they'll probably, eliminate the, toss the running game aside, and I think we're going to see a high dose of Patrick Mahomes chucking the ball around all over the field, which
Yep.
usually does not bode well for the teams to actually win the Super Bowl. If
Okay.
you remember back to Brady and the Eagles, unfortunately. But yeah, usually the teams when the quarterbacks are just throwing the ball all over the field, that's not a winning recipe in the Super Bowl. So that's another reason why I love the Bucks today.
All right, Tom Brady passing yards. He was held under that 288 threshold in the NFC Championship game. I believe he hit 280 was the final. His number right now is at 295 and a half passing yards. He threw for 345 against the Chiefs in a Week 12 loss, but again, they were getting blown out. I don't believe that they're going to get blown out in this game. Obviously, two of us have them winning. So what do you like right there?
It's tough. Brady usually. I think we're going to see a lot of running attack in this game. I don't know why. I just have a feeling. I would go under in the passing yards for Brady.
Yep.
It's not something
Okay.
I'm betting. As you can see, I don't. I'm not. It's not something I'm going to be betting personally. But just gut feel, I would go under.
Okay. Here's one that I love, and it's so easy. Brady rushing yards, 0.5. Half a yard rushing yards. The over is at plus 145. Do you think that's a gimme? Can't find anything. Just pass, run to the sideline. Boom. Might be the easiest prop bet of the day. Plus 145.
But you know what the problem is with those bets and why I stay away from them? So like if you look back to like last year's game, for everyone that bet Patrick Mahomes over rushing yards, I think he was like, ahead of that prop by like 15, 20 yards. And the last 3 plays of the game were him taking kneel downs, one for -8 yards, one for -7 yards, and another one for like -13 yards. And just like that, everyone that had the Patrick Mahomes over prop definitely should have hit the bet, actually lost their bet. So those are things, with just a half a yard, you would think the over Brady sneaks one for a yard or something. But let's say the Bucks are in victory formation and Brady's sitting at 1 rushing yard and he takes it 2 kneels. Now you lost. So I would just stay away from that one.
What about Brady over 2.5 passing touchdowns at plus 125? You think he's going to be slinging it through the air? 3 touchdowns for Brady today?
I think Gronk could get 2.
Okay.
I hope Gronk
Yeah.
can go for my MVP bets.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I hope I hope Brady comes out and throws 7 touchdowns. Jeez.
Yeah.
Hope he sets the record, runs for 1,000 yards in this game. I just want this game to be an absolute blowout. I want Brady to come out from the first whistle to the last whistle, him just dominate this game.
All right.
I think that's what'll happen, honestly.
Okay. Well, what do you like for the over? What are you betting in terms of props? I know, you don't like props or you don't like Super Bowl props. Are you gonna bet on the over? Or are you gonna what's kind of like what's your game slate kind of looking like, Kenny?
Well, definitely the Bucks.
Yeah,
I'm not sure if I'm going to dabble on the Bucks money line just because I have some future bets at better odds than their listed money line. So I'm still on the fence if I'm actually going to bet their current money line, but definitely have the Bucks plus 3.5 already locked in. I mentioned the Gronk MVP bet. That's one that I like.
Yeah.
I like a teaser. Bucks teased with the over. So brings the over down to about 47. You get the Bucks at plus 10. Okay. So that's one that I like, Yeah, I also have a few parlays. Gronk anytime touchdown, Bucks win. I have an Antonio Brown anytime touchdown, Bucks win. But those are just like just for more fun. Like, like those are just more like tossing the barrel, just a couple bucks on them, just to give myself something fun. But the main bet is on the Bucks for sure. Like if the Bucks, win this game and the Bucks cover, I'll be very happy tonight.
Okay. So. I think, well, here's another one. Here's another prop bet. 16.5 is the largest match lead. It's at plus 100. So would you take would you really think that this is going to be a blowout? Would you take that bet?
So you're saying, the bet is the biggest lead.
16.5, that the largest lead is 16.5.
And you can bet over under is what
you can bet over under on that.
What's the under at?
I believe the under is at plus 100.
I would go under.
I think they're both at plus.
I would go under. I mean, that's
Yeah, okay.
16.5 is a ton in a football game.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
I mean, obviously the Falcons game,
Yep.
the Broncos Seahawks. I can't really
Mhm.
remember too many just games where one team really opened up against the other one. Um, but yeah, I would go under there, especially if it's plus money for sure. That's actually
Okay.
not a bad bet.
All right. All right. So, all right. Well, for this game, I'm loving the Bucks. I also too like the under in this game. I know that's, everyone's expecting a gunslinging game, but I'm going to be, as I said, I'm going to be placing my bets in a couple of
Yep.
hours, so we'll get a better sense of what the weather's going to look like
So
down
real
there.
quick, Courtney, gun to head, final score. What do you got?
36-28. Bucks.
36-28. Bucks by 12.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go.
No. No, Bucks by 8.
Oh, you said 36-28. Sorry, I was thinking.
28.
Sorry, I was thinking
Yeah.
38-26. I'm a little dyslexic.
No, no, it's okay.
Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go 31-28
24.
Bucks.
Okay, 31-28. So would your bet would lose if that happened?
What bet?
Oh, they're winning by 3. You said 3 and plus Bucks plus 3.5.
Yeah, no. That would mean that the Bucks can lose by 3 or win the game.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, Bucks plus 3.5 is so as long as the Bucks don't lose by 4 or more, I win that bet.
Okay. All right.
So
Well, you heard
seems
it
like a
here
lock.
first. Yeah. All right. Well, I think that we are both on the same page with all of this. Make sure to go check out. I mean, do you have any still promotions for this game going on? Or are we going to announce the who's your guy that's rolling with you for the game day promotion for the Super Bowl? Who's
They,
got 5 large on the game that's rolling with Kenny Betts Big?
so I believe they're going to announce that shortly on
Okay. All
Instagram.
right.
Yeah, that's
Okay. All right. So it wasn't our job to announce it, but do you have any other promotions that you're still rolling with for the Super Bowl?
yeah. You can go to my website. I have the Super Bowl package. You can go on my website and purchase that, and you get all of my Super Bowl bets.
Okay. All right. Kenny Betts Big. I'm your host, Courtney Fallon. I'm the prop queen. Stick with us. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff during the game. We're going to be doing a lot of live Super Bowl. I'm going to do some cut-ins in terms of just updating you on some prop bets, some things that are in the process, some things that hit the over. So you'll be seeing me on the Game Day Instagram a lot today. You'll see Kenny a couple of times. Hopefully, where are you watching the game, bud? And what are you cooking?
Just my house. Probably order out. I order out a lot. So yeah, just hanging out at home. Just watching the game here, relaxing.
Yeah,
I don't like going out when I have big bets on games. I get too anxious.
yeah,
I don't like hearing people rooting for the other team. I just like
yeah,
good vibes when I want something to go my way. So
yeah. Okay. You heard it here first. Kenny, myself, this is the game day. Good luck, everyone. It's the greatest day of the year, and we got a bunch of snow up here in the Northeast. Hopefully, we'll have a better game and brighter skies down in Tampa Bay, Florida. For Kenny, I'm Courtney. We'll see you next time.